only really means something for your defensive streamers. That's about it.
All right, moving on. And this is a guy, we might chop this one up because people might actually be interested in this one. Allen Lazard, who's been gone for a long time with this core injury, which you don't see the core injury too often, but come to find out it's kind of a big deal. He was actually doing pretty well before he got put on IR. He was a legit threat for Rodgers, who I think Adams might have been on the shelf at that point. And Lazard was filling in pretty admirably. Either that or he was playing an admirable 2 to Adams' 1. But anyway, he's back. He's going to be eased back into the lineup. Do we believe it? Do we believe that he's going to be back? Do we believe that when he's back, they're going to ease him back in? And, I mean, you think this guy's got a pretty high upside potentially, right?
He's got a huge upside. Absolutely. I mean, 18, 8, and 26 fantasy points in his 3 starts. Wide receiver 16, 68, and 6. That's 2 top 2 wide receiver weeks in there. Wide receiver 2 weeks. That's fantastic. And he was the only real reliable, consistent threat outside of Devontae Adams that this team has had. I mean, Valdez-Scantling, we saw him go deep and have a huge play last week. Yay. We've also seen him drop 1,000,000 balls. We've seen 1,000 death stares from Aaron Rodgers, ready to just literally slit his throat on the actual field. I think Lazard's going to step right back in. And yeah, they say they're going to ease him in, but they don't really have the options to ease him in.
No, they don't.
They don't. And against Indy, I mean, that's a decent Indianapolis team. I can't imagine this game gets out of hand where you can only give them a smattering of snaps. Now, maybe, just maybe, they do put him on a pitch count. Their training staff is extremely cautious. So it would be tough for me to say, get him right back in your lineups and let's see what he does. But he was, as of yesterday, out there in 42% of leagues. He should be 75 to 100% owned at this point because the upside this guy has, the way that Rodgers is playing, and the schedule down the stretch isn't so bad at all. Chicago, tough matchup, but then Philly, Detroit, Carolina, Tennessee. A lot of those games sound like shootouts. A lot of them are against bottom 10 teams. Lazard could go on a very, very solid stretch run here. Again, for this week, if I can wait and see, I will. But he's still also in my top 50 receivers, right around like 44, 42 range. So there is definitely a scenario where if you got to play him, there's plenty of upside, a great end zone scorer, great deep speed. I mean, he is a complete package, whereas Marquez Valdez-Scantling can do one thing, stretch the field. He serves his role decent in that sense. Lazard is a complete package, and he's ready to go. I'm excited to see this guy get back on the field.
And I know I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but I mean, playing opposite Devontae Adams, there could not be a better situation for a guy like him coming back. You cannot sag off Adams ever. I mean, He's routinely beating double teams for touchdowns. So it's not like they're going to be like, oh, let's shift a guy over onto Lazard and help him out. Lazard's going to have a lot of one-on-one. And, if he can make those plays, he's going to score some fantasy points. That's for sure.
Absolutely. And think about what it does for Rodgers, too. Who's already been top 3 almost every single week. Now he gets an even better weapons injection. Love it all. Love every single bit of it. What is up, you fantasy wolf? Thanks so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, share your thoughts in the comments, check out some more videos, and join the newest Wolfpack by subscribing below.